Hello, and a very warm welcome as Charles Leclerc dominates the Bahrain Grand Prix. Red Bull have a kamikaze race where both drivers end up with nothing. Lewis Hamilton ends up on the podium with no pace. And McLaren were a disgrace, really. Yeah, wow. First race done. It was a good race. It wasn't a classic. The cars could follow much closer, which was positive. We had a couple of retirements. It was a very clean start. The only incident we had was Ocon hitting Mick Schumacher. And Ocon got a penalty, 5 seconds. Cars were following closer. Pit stops happened, very action-packed in the pits. Max v Leclerc. Now, Max kept making a big mistake in the race because twice he passed Leclerc into one and Leclerc would just go straight back past him. So Max had to make the move into turn 4, but he just didn't seem to learn that, which, I mean, he must have known. Stay close through 1, get him up into 4. You would have the race lead, but he kept doing the same manoeuvre into 1. Yeah, McLaren was humiliation. They got lapped. They were so slow, off the pace. It was embarrassing. And then the safety car came out as Pierre Gasly was on fire. I got Romain Grosjean flashbacks, seeing the fire in literally the same place Grosjean had this incident. And then Max was complaining about an issue, a wheel issue. And then Max basically lost all drive. And the world champion scored 0. Had a bit of banter in the WhatsApp group. It's going Dutch. Max is the world champion. It's going Dutch into retirement. Mercedes, Hamilton's podium glosses totally. I mean, Mercedes was so poor. They were so slow. They were absolute shite, man. They're so far off the pace. How Hamilton's ended up on the podium, I'll never know. On true pace, Lewis would have been 5th. Just so slow. Bahrain race for reaction. Ferrari 1-2. Red Bull disaster. McLaren embarrassing. Race rating, I'll give it 7 out of 10. It was a good race, but it wasn't like a classic. So P1, Charles Leclerc. Pole position, dominated the race, and thoroughly deserved to win. P2, Carlos Sainz. Ferrari the real deal going into 2022. P3, Lewis Hamilton. Mercedes nowhere, no pace whatsoever. They were guaranteed 5th and 6th at best, and have ended up finishing 3rd and 4th. Yeah, a bit like a win really for Mercedes. They've got some serious work to do. 30 seconds off the lead at times. P4, George Russell on debut. P5, probably star of the weekend, Kevin Magnussen. What a performance. Valtteri Bottas, his first race, he's 6th. This is incredible. 7th, Ocon. Had miles more pace than Alonso. 8th, Tsunoda, back in the points. 9th, Fernando Alonso. He had a tough race. 10th, Guan Yu Zhou on debut. First race and he's in the points. Fantastic for Guan Yu Zhou. 11th, Mick Schumacher, outshined by Magnussen. And then the rest were just nowhere. They were lapped down. Terrible pace. 12th, Lance Stroll, nowhere. 13th, Albon. He destroyed Latifi. 14th, Ricciardo. 15th, Norris. McLaren, so slow off the pace. 16th, Latifi. 17th, Hulk. 18th, Perez. Right at the end, Perez just lost it all by himself at turn 1. Retirements, Gasly and Max. Wow. First race down, Ferrari 1-2. The title race absolutely wide open. Ferrari have scored maximum points, Red Bull have got 0 points, and Mercedes look slow and off the pace. And the midfield's absolutely crazy. Aston Martin and McLaren were dreadful. It's wow, incredible. I can't believe it. I mean, I'm feeling ill, but that race cheered me up to say the least. Yeah, wow. An enjoyable first race. Join me tomorrow for driver ratings. Yeah, and I think we'll be able to get the subscribers on because I'm obviously going to be at home because I won't be allowed to work with COVID. So, yeah. Comment down below your thoughts on today's race. And my star of the race, I would have to give it Charles Leclerc and Kevin Magnussen. They were absolutely outstanding. But the real worry for me is the lack of Mercedes pace. Like, they've got to improve. They've got to find some. Otherwise, there's no title fight for Lewis. They were so poor. Wow. Comment down below your thoughts. Oops.